As has become customary over the past 6 months, I arrived home late after leaving the garage. I noticed 3 additional cars in front of my house and thought, what's going on here? I knew who they were: Ben, George, and Jack. They'd been my closest friends for a long time. I'd ridden in their vehicles hundreds of times. I wondered what they were doing there, since my wife knew I'd be late. I went to the living room to see what was going on. I could hear them whispering, so I stopped and I got a beer from the fridge and took a seat on the couch between Ben and Jack. My wife was already there, and George was in a chair by the sofa. I strolled over and sat in the other recliner across from the sofa, nodding hello to them. I asked casually, and they glanced at each other for a minute before Gloria looked like she was going to deliver some bad news to me. Finally, she seemed to gather her nerve and begin talking. Sorry about this, Dave, but we need to talk about it. It's been hard for me to keep this a secret from you and the guys. I've also been feeling a bit unsatisfied by the amount of time I can give them. I want you to know that I still love you very much, and I still want us to have a family and grow old together. I want us to eventually retire, travel like we always planned, and spoil any future grandchildren we may eventually have. I understand that this will have an effect on us, but we can still remain together as husband and wife. The thing is, I've been sleeping with Ben, George, and Jack for the last year, sometimes with one, sometimes with 2, or even all 3 at once. She paused to gauge my reaction. I just kept silent and took a sip of my beer. So, a lot of the time, we would have one of them take you out. Somewhere to keep you occupied while the other 2 came over and had sex with me. Whoever was out keeping you distracted would call and let us know when you were on your way home. That would give us time to clean up and the guys to leave before you got here. We actually couldn't do that as much as we would have liked. I would have liked to do it, but I was worried about raising suspicions with you. I also enjoy having all 3 of them with me at once. It's great to have 3 of them, even though having 2 is fantastic. I figured it was time for me to say something, and that seemed like the most appropriate thing to do at the time. Gloria, I'm not happy about learning that you're cheating on me with my 3 best friends. I'm also not happy that my 3 best friends would stab me in the back like that. Is this your way of telling me that you want a divorce is out of the question? As I said before, I want to have a family with you and grow old together. I don't want a divorce, and if you try that, I will fight it and take you to the cleaners. What I want is for you to accept this, and we can move forward. We'll be intimate and behave like a married couple. I'll stop taking the pill in a few months, at which point we can start planning our first child. With the exception of the guys sleeping with me over a couple of times a week. Everything will continue as usual. Perhaps you could even participate occasionally. I decided to throw a bit of eye through cold water on things by asking my 3 former friends a question: what do your wives think about this? It was Ben who answered. I figured that he is a lawyer after all, so I assumed our wives wouldn't know anything about this. I swear, if you so much as if you breathe a word about it, I'll ruin you. I managed to hold back my smirk. Don't worry about that. They won't hear anything about this from me. Good. Ben continued, they better not. He glanced over at Gloria, who nodded her head for him to continue. Okay, so here's the plan. From now on, Gloria is going to be seeing other men. You can't satisfy her anymore, so a few times a week, the boys and I will come over for Gloria until we are satisfied. We'll clean up afterwards so your wives don't get suspicious. Once we are done, we'll leave, and you 2 can go back to being the happy married couple you are. We don't care if you stay here or go somewhere else. If you stay here, we might let you join us from time to time. As for you having sex with your wife, you can do that any day that we're not there. You're welcome to come over, but we'll even let you sleep with her after we're gone if she's still up for it. I'm at a loss for options other than to live by the river in a cardboard box, so I have a few modest requests of you. It seems like the least you can do. Ben smiled in triumph. He was prepared to be magnanimous in his victory. Sure, Dave. As long as they aren't too much, no, I assured him. Just a couple small things that I'm sure won't require any effort on your part. First off, I don't want you using. I don't mind if you use the bed in the guest room, it's big enough. I do need to sleep in that bed, and I think you're being disrespectful to me. We usually just do it on the floor in the living room anyway, but we can use the guest bedroom if we need to. Just to let you know, your bedroom and bathroom will be off limits. Thanks. Could you let me know when you plan to arrive and when you plan to depart? I don't plan to stay here while you're with my wife. I need to know when you're heading out so I can make plans to be somewhere else before you get here. I can do that as well. Is there anything else? Nope. That's it. We don't want to waste this opportunity. We can give you half an hour to get ready and leave. You should probably plan on getting a motel room for the night, though. Our wives think that we are. We're going out on a boat for the night and won't be back until tomorrow morning. Ben smiled and said, "Just pack a change of clothes for tomorrow and make a phone call and I'll be out of your hair." I got up and went to my bedroom to pack. I heard them talking and it went a lot better than I was expecting. Ben chuckled and George added, "I was expecting him to get really angry." They laughed a bit and made a few derogatory comments about my manhood as I entered the room again with my duffel bag. I took my phone out and started talking into it. "Mary, yes, they said they'd be here all night. I was thinking about your place, but Ben suggested a motel room." I listened to the reply. "Palace, that's a good choice. I'm thinking the presidential suite. Give Eve and Joan a call and have them meet us there." We were listening to the reply. "I think I'm good to go. I only got off once before I had to get home earlier, so I've got a few more shots left in me. Oh, Gloria said she is going off the pill and wants to get pregnant." I laughed at her reply. "It's truly evil. Do you think so too? I think Evie and Joan would be up for that too." I couldn't help but laugh. "You three already agreed to that, didn't you?" "I love it. See you ladies in a bit. I'm just heading out the door." I disconnected the call and turned to see 4 stunned faces looking at me. "Dave, who are you talking to?" Gloria asked. "What was that all about?" "Oh, that was Ben's wife, Mary. She's going to reserve the palace's presidential suite for this evening. That's where we're going to meet Jack's wife, Joan, and George's wife, Evie. We get to have a wild night since their spouses are out fishing and won't be back until dawn. As I said, if you tell our wives about this, it'll be on your own head. And it will be 6 months ago since your 3 wives came into my office and told me that the 3 of you had. I've been sleeping with your wives for over 6 months now. They offered themselves to me whenever you were with Gloria. So for the last 6 months, while you were sleeping with my wife, I was doing the same with your wives. Did you really think I was actually working when I came home late? Didn't you ever wonder why I was so exhausted when I got home on those nights while you were with Gloria? I was at the palace in the presidential suite with your wives." I turned to look at Gloria. "Believe me, I understand your fascination with multiple men at the same time." I looked at my 3 former friends. "I had no idea your wives were bisexual. Did you? They started up together when they learned about your cheating. They finally figured that I should know what I married and came to my office to let me know. They chose to include me in their... While they were there are lots of photos and videos in the report, so don't waste your time trying to punish or file for divorce. I don't think Gloria would be too bothered if you divorced me. I'd even move in with your ex. Wives, it seems like they really enjoy having me around." I looked at their stunned faces for a minute. "We should make another agreement, like not doing DNA testing on any future children. You might not like the results anyway. I have 3 insatiable women to take care of, so I have to get rolling." I left through the door. After that, I was thinking. As I drove my truck to the palace, I gave myself a mental shoulder shrug about tonight's revelations. Ben was wealthy. Mary had already put the nastiest divorce lawyer in the state on retainer, and everything would be all right. What's your opinion about OP? Thanks for joining us in our stories where revenge is served hot. Please consider subscribing to our channel to ensure your next chef remains loyal. Tune in for the next one to get your revenge appetite fulfilled. If you're below 18, hold on. It's not for the faint-hearted.